Greetings, A-level chemists. Okay, a bit more kinetics 2. We've got a rate determining step and mechanisms question. So, there is a reaction going on between H2 and nitrogen monoxide, making diatomic nitrogen and water. Okay, complete the equation for step 3 of the proposed mechanism below. Okay, now, I know people hate these, but once we get the knack of it, it's not too bad. Once we've got the hang of it. So, first of all, I would actually have a look at the rate equation. That's the first step for me. Have a look at the rate equation. So, in the rate equation, we've got H2 and we've got two equivalents of, so two molecules of NO reacting. Okay? So, where do we go from this? So now I'm thinking, let's identify the RDS. That's the slowest step in the mechanism. So step 2 has to be the RDS. Now, when we're looking at the rate equation, this includes all steps up to and including the RDS. So we must include species in step 1 and we must include species in step 2. Okay? So let's inspect step 1 and step 2. So step 1 is fast, fine, but the RDS is after that, so we must include step 1 species in our RDS. Okay, so 2 molecules of nitrogen monoxide, which is consistent with our rate equation, are forming N2O2. Now, we're forming this, and in step 2, the N2O2 is getting used up. So this is our intermediate. So it's formed and then used. So if I add up all of the steps, step 1, 2, and 3, they should give me the overall equation. Okay, so I can cancel out the intermediates here. Okay, so if step 2 is the RDS, what I'm going to do is just check. So do I have 2 equivalents of nitrogen monoxide? Yes, I do, because we would interpret that as, if I'm writing the rate equation from the proposed mechanism, be K NO squared. Okay, obviously I don't include the N2O2 because it's an intermediate, but in step 2, the other reacting species is 1 molecule of H2, so this is H2 raised to the power of 1. So that's consistent. So the mechanism and the RDS is consistent with our rate equation. So happy days so far. Okay, where do we go next? So remember, if I add up all of the steps of my proposed mechanism, they should equal my overall chemical equation. So I'm having a look at step 2. So I'm forming H2O, which is part of our chemical equation, but only 1 molecule has been formed so far. The N2O that I'm forming, that's not part of our chemical equation, so this is presumably an intermediate. So it's formed in step 2, so it has to be consumed in step 3. So we're going to consume it in step 3. Okay, so now we're just going to do a little bit of accountancy. So it needs to react with something else. So at the moment, 2 lots of NO have reacted, so just do a bit of accountancy. That's all good. 1 lot of H2 has reacted, but overall in my chemical equation I need 2 equivalents of H2 reacting. So in step 3 I can add another H2. So now I've got 2 overall if I add up step 1, 2, and 3. And then these combine to make what are my final products? So nitrogen gas and another molecule of H2O. Okay, let's have a look if this works. So cancel out all your intermediates. And now what we're going to do is just see if we add up all of the species in the proposed mechanism, do we get the overall chemical equation? Let's have a look. So first of all, 2 lots of NO. So now I'm adding step 1, 2, and 3. So I get 2 lots of NO plus 1 lot of H2. And I'm forming 1 lot of H2O there. And in step 3, I've got another H2 molecule. And I'm also forming N2 and another molecule of H2O. Okay, well look, there are some like terms here, so I can collect like terms. So what I can do is, hopefully, so this can become 2 lots of H2. So 2NO plus 2 lots of H2 goes to N2 plus 2 lots of H2O. So after adding up and filling in step 3, so add up step 1, 2, and 3, do I get the overall chemical equation that I started with? Is it consistent with that? Yes, it is. Okay, yes, it is. Okay, and that is a mechanisms question where you have to fill in the last step and make sure everything is consistent with the rate equation and the overall chemical equation. Okay, thanks for watching. Ta-ta.